19 First Alert Plus. Sponsored by the man that makes them pay, Tim Misney.
All right, Chris Fry in the 19 News Digital Studios on this Friday evening. Good evening to one and all on this Valentine's Day. Hope you had a chance to get out and take advantage of the clear and nice weather, albeit still cold, because this weekend things are changing really for the next 5 to 6 days as we are in first alert mode. We've got a first alert weather day for you coming up this weekend. Let's bring in 19 first alert meteorologist Erica Page. So Erica, kind of give us the rundown of what we should expect to see. I know I was looking at maps in the Chicago area. Is that the system that is headed our way?
Yes, it is. So that's what we're watching for tonight's system. And really, I mean, this evening has been pretty quiet. Yeah, it's been a little on the colder side, but at least it's been dry. I would imagine that at least for the next couple of hours, we should still stay on the dry side. But after midnight, that's when this system starts to roll in. It'll give us widespread snow headed into early Saturday morning. Then temperatures warm up, so we will see snow melt. We're going to add in some rain chances to the mix. It'll stay above freezing through Sunday morning, and then the bottom starts to fall out with our temperatures. You're going to see that transition from rain back over to snow, and that means we're likely going to see some flash freezing likely headed into the second half of the weekend. So both days they're going to be kind of messy, but for kind of different reasons. Right now temperatures are currently sitting into the low to mid 20s, a couple upper 20s farther south you are. All those purple boxes indicate basically where we have the winter weather advisory, so that's in effect for everybody. Just off to the west, you're starting to see a few snowflakes popping up, especially out across parts of northwestern Ohio. This, I am not seeing a lot of reports of it actually making its way to the ground just yet. If we zoom this system out, you can see really where we have some of the heavier snow. So it's just now moving out of Chicago. It's out across parts of northern Indiana. This stuff is making it to the ground. So this is really what we're going to be watching. It's going to add the thicker cloud cover, and it'll help to kind of moisten up the atmosphere a little bit to allow this snow to be a bit more productive back to the west. But this probably won't do a whole lot for us other than maybe spit a couple snowflakes here as we go through the next several hours. So here's your future view. I'm going to walk you through kind of what you can expect, at least headed into your early Saturday. Again, pretty quiet for now. Best chance for accumulating snow arrives after midnight. If you want to get more specific, probably closer to 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, we're seeing that move into our western counties. But you notice that as we go through your Saturday morning, first things first, everybody's still upper 20s to about low 30s. So temperatures are cold enough that this snow will stick to the ground. So it is going to cause for messy travel if you have to be out early Saturday. Then you get a little bit of a changeover to a wintry mix, so potentially a light glaze of ice possible as temperatures start to warm into the mid 30s. And then you get a transition to rain. Now, your future view has been pretty consistent in keeping at least a couple breaks in kind of some of this activity as we go through tomorrow afternoon. So tomorrow afternoon may not be a complete wash, and temperatures will be above freezing, so that is a positive for us. But late Saturday night, it's widespread rain, temperatures still into the mid and upper 30s before the cold air really starts to work in early Sunday morning. And that's when you start to have that potential for icing really becoming a bit more apparent. All that water that's falling out ahead of it likely freezes, and then you get the snow on the backside of that system basically through the day on Sunday. It'll be pretty scattered snow showers with the help of some lake enhancement, not necessarily from probably Lake Erie, but more so up towards Lake Huron. So that's what's really going to kind of help provide us additional snow showers as we go through the day on Sunday, Chris.
All right. Erica, stand by. 15 seconds. We're going to hear a word from our sponsor. Stand by.
I've represented families just like yours for over 4 decades. Listen, if you need me, call me. You know I'll be there for you, and I'll make them pay. In the meantime, I'll keep an eye out for you.
All right, we've got the 7-day forecast right now. We're going to focus in on, of course, the double weekend. It seems like that's so far away to be back to hit freezing. But boy, the start of the work week next week, I don't know, words cannot express or describe. Yeah, that's a good word, brutal, yes.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you'd think by this point we're kind of starting to wrap up these really cold Arctic blasts, but it looks like another kind of lobe of polar air just escapes from the northern territories of Canada, and it starts to sink our direction. And so once we kind of get that cold front that passes through on Sunday, and you start seeing that transition back to snow, all of a sudden you're going to see that wind kicking up. I mean, you look at Sunday's overnight low, you're back into the mid-teens. You don't rebound really from that headed into Monday, President's Day, and then the bottom really falls out kind of during the middle part of the work week. So factor in the cold temperatures as they are, middle and upper teens for daytime highs, overnight lows single digits. Any bit of wind is going to quickly push that wind chill factor well below zero. So you'll notice that's why we have the alert day for Tuesday. It's because of the cold air. It's going to feel pretty nasty out there, just in terms of how that wind chill is factored into things. By Wednesday and Thursday, yeah, you start to notice some small improvements. It's not a lot, but it comes with another system that by the end of the week. And yeah, that could bring us some scattered snow showers, but more importantly, it finally starts to signal that this cold air is escaping off towards the east. And while it may not be a significant warm up, it's at least something warmer than what we're going to be dealing with through much of this next week. When you look at that double weekend, temperatures next weekend, upper 20s to low 30s, and potentially cracking into the mid 30s for the last week of February. So we'll see. I don't think we're going to see, a significant warm up to wrap up February. I think it's going to stay on the chillier side, kind of like what we've been dealing with all month. Yeah,
it's been a hard winter for all of us. And you mentioned it earlier this evening in our 7 o'clock newscast on CW 43, how typical winters you would see cold air, and then you would see some 40s, maybe some 50s, and not as cold. It seems like it has been cold, I would say, since the beginning of December. I mean, that's how long of a stretch. At least that's how it feels to me.
Oh, yeah, 100% it feels that way. I want to say that I believe the very end of December, we had a nice little warm-up right before the new year. And then it's like once we hit, I think, New Year's Day, I think we had a system that came through. And it's like we have not been able to recover since then. I think we've had maybe one 50-degree day, and that was a couple weeks ago. And that's been about it. I mean, it's been a really cold second half to winter.
My wife and I are having a conversation right now. What are we doing for spring break? I said we need to go somewhere warm because this winter grip has impacted me, and I'm sure many others feel the same way as they look maybe for a vacation spot to warm up. Indeed, but we got to get through this, and we will get through this. Meteorologist Erica Page giving us the latest. She'll have a full breakdown coming up at the top of the hour, 19 News at 10 o'clock. We'll see you then, Erica. Thanks a lot.
Sounds good.
You'll also see yours truly coming up in about 20 minutes, 19 News at 10 o'clock on WUAB 43, and then switch over to 19 News at 11 for more on that and how ODOT is beginning its process of pre-treating the roads, getting ready for this winter blast coming through this weekend. All right, I'm Chris Fry in the 19 News Digital Studios. We'll see you in just under 30 minutes, or 20 minutes, excuse me.
19 News, now streaming on Samsung Smart TV. Search for channel 1035.